Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we're going to be doing a Star Wars Armada fleet, and this one is going to be Clone Wars based. I'll be doing a Republic fleet using Admiral Tarkin, who I think is one of the best commanders for the Republic. And we're going to have some fun with this one. We're going to be doing some stuff with Venators, since a lot of Venators have just come back in stock. I know a lot of people have been finally able to pick them up. And so that is cause for celebration and cause for a fleet build. If you guys are new here to the channel, we are giving away a lightsaber right now. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. Make sure you also check the links in the video description below. You can join our Discord. I'd love to have you in there to talk about builds, share photos of your games, talk about Star Wars Armada, Star Wars Legion, Star Wars X-Wing, lots of other games as well. We're very family friendly. Also, there's links for social media. And all of that good stuff is linked. I am going to be using Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder, so if you're not familiar with this particular website, I'll put a link to it in the description below as well. Fantastic website, really helpful for visualizing your fleets and building your fleets for Star Wars Armada. So we're going to be using Admiral Tarkin today. I'll talk about him a little bit. You start off the game by putting 6 dials on him, or 6 commands rather, and he's a 30-point commander, and you can pick any 6 you want. It says, at the start of each ship phase, you may discard 1 command token from this card. 6 command tokens, not dials, but either way. If you do, either you gain 1 matching command dial, or each friendly ship gains 1 matching command token. So very similar to the Imperial Tarkin in that you can give everybody a token at the start of each turn. It's a little more limited in that regard because you have to pick the tokens that you're going to want at the beginning of the game, so you're a little bit less adaptable. However, you have also a little more flexibility in how you implement his ability here, because he can, instead of giving everybody a command token, he can opt to give your own ship, your flagship, a matching command dial, which is very, very cool because you can end up with 2 dials on your flagship, and that's a very fun thing. So we're going to do some fun stuff with command tokens in this particular build. We're also going to be using some of the new stuff from Rapid Reinforcements. So I think it's kind of fun to see how Rapid Reinforcements can influence our fleet building. So we are going to start off with a Victory Star Destroyer, using the new Rapid Reinforcements Victory card. We'll only be using 1 of these today, although I think if you are so inclined, you could add another one and you can change some things around. But this one is going to be using the SPHA-T, the SPHA-T, or the SPHA-T cannons. I really like the SPHATs. We're going to go ahead and drop that in. Wrong upgrade slot. It's going to be offensive retrofit. The SPHA-T cannon is a super fun cannon. Of course, it gives you that ignition attack. You get that really long range black dice attack, which is super fun, and can go out of your front or your sides. I always like the idea of trying to kind of come at somebody diagonally, so you can get this SPHA-T cannon and then maybe also have a front arc shot. That's kind of what you want to do with a ship like this. And since the Victory has two ordnance upgrades, it just gives us some really cool options. So what we're going to do is we're going to give these guys assault proton torpedoes. It's our cheapest devastating black crit, and we're also going to give this one external racks for once we get closer. Once we get closer, we're going to have an even more devastating attack. I really like external racks on this one. It's the price is definitely right for it, and it's going to allow us to have lots of upgrades without completely breaking the bank on upgrade points. For our weapons team, I'm going to use Clone Gunners. Clone Gunners is going to work really well in this build since we have Tarkin. We can put a lot of concentrate fire tokens out there, and I think if we want to try to maximize Tarkin and kind of take advantage of his lack of flexibility and that he can't change which tokens, if we build this build to use a lot of concentrate fire tokens, then it'll kind of make our decisions for us. We can run Tarkin with mostly concentrate fire tokens at the beginning of the game, and then we can concentrate on doing other commands like navigation or engineering. And so we're not going to have a whole lot of squadrons in this build, but we will have a little bit And so that's mostly it. The Victory is also going to have engine techs. Again, I was talking about trying to run navigation or engineering, so this one will probably be running a lot more navigation commands. It'll give it a lot more maneuverability than a normal Victory has, and then it'll be fun with that. And so maybe we do an engineering first turn and navigation all the rest of the turns, or something like that. But we'll have a good time with the engine techs there. And so that's going to kind of do it for what we're running right now. After this, we're going to load up a Venator. We're going to load up a Venator 1, which makes for an excellent SPHA-T platform. So we're going to, and I always go back and forth on whether or not I say SPHA-T or SPHA-T. So I'm gonna try and just say SPHA-T for the rest of the round, the rest of the the video. All right, so we're gonna start off with the SPHA-T. Again, I do like the SPHA-T. We're gonna also put assault proton torpedoes on this one as well. Since we have our, I'm going to make this one our flagship. I'm going to put Tarkin on there. Again, we already talked about Tarkin, so I don't have to change that much. I am also going to put clone gunners on this one as well. We're going to have clone gunners all over the place, right? And of course, that's just going to work pretty well with the build. We're going to give this one intensify firepower. We're certainly going to have the tokens to be able to trigger it, and so of course that's going to work, and I like that. I may run into a problem trying to have a token on here to feed somebody else's clone gunners, and also, trigger intensify firepower. But at least it gives me options. At least it gives me options. I'd rather have the option and not need it than need it and not have it. So I like what's going on there. And plus, this one can eat somebody else's. So of course, it certainly works. And then we're going to add another Venator 1. And if you are only able to get one Venator 1, or if you're only able to get one Venator, then you can easily probably swap this second Venator out for a Victory 1 and just make a couple of minor changes. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm going with here. And actually, I think you could probably just swap it out. A 1-for-1 swap. You'd probably have a little extra points left over. But I wanted to run 2 Venators and 1 Victory, primarily because I painted 1 Victory in Republic colors, and it'll work. It'll look a little bit better. It'll look a little more uniform for me. So sometimes my paint jobs influence my list building. Let me know if that's ever happened to you. This one's going to be kind of my big shooter, because I'm going to put Clone Captain Zach on this one. Clone Captain Zach is a really great option for the SPHA-T cannon. As long as you put it out your side arc, because if you're attacking from that side or rear hull zone, you can exhaust this card to add a die to your attack pool of a color already in your attack pool, which is really cool. And one thing that's really nice here is if you combo him with Clone Gunners. If you do the Clone Gunners first, you can add that blue die to your attack pool, and then Clone Captain Zach can add a blue die to your attack pool. You can end up with blue dice, extra blue dice if you want. Although you're probably going to go with black dice. But if you find that you really need the accuracy, then maybe you consider going with the blue dice. That's one of the things, is having the choice is always great. We are going to also put the SPHA-T cannon on there, so there we go. And we'll also put the assault proton torpedoes. Now, I believe all of these upgrades can also go on another Victory if you're doing that. So again, if you don't have a second Venator, you're going to, you can swap a Victory here. Only the other problem you're going to run into is that the SPHA-T upgrade itself comes with the Venator. So if you only have one physical Venator, well, then you can probably just proxy the SPHA-T here, as long as you're not playing this build in a tournament. But if you are running in a tournament, you're going to need 3 Venator SPHA-T cards, although maybe you can borrow them from a friend or something like that. So that's 353 points. That's a lot already. We don't have Squadrons yet, so we have some options. We could just run some simple Squadrons out there, or we can put some fun Squadrons out there. And I thought, let's run the new Anakin Skywalker. He is in the Delta 7. He is incredibly deadly. He does have the Scatter as well. So he's got Adept 2, he's got Counter 2, and he's got Dodge 1. And So dodge 1 is already nasty enough, but then he's also got the scatter and the brace. It looks really nasty. 2 blue and 2 black against enemy squadrons as well. So he's going to be good at shredding squadrons. While attacking a squadron during your activation at the end of the resolved damage step, you may choose up to 2 enemy squadrons at distance 1 of the defender. If the defender was damaged, the chosen squadrons suffer 1 damage as well. So he's got all of that spread damage, and he's going to do an awful lot. So I'm looking forward to having him do some fun. We'll put Ahsoka with him as well. It's maybe not the best, but it does bring me exactly to 400 points, so I feel like the Force is telling me to put Ahsoka with Anakin. I would say you probably don't have to run Ahsoka. You could probably run somebody else and free up some more points if you really wanted to, put some more officers on some of those ships. But she does work well with Anakin. The only problem is if you lose Anakin, she's not going to have anybody to trigger her ability on. And, of course, that's bad if you lose Anakin anyway. But while they're both alive, she will definitely help Anakin get extra shots in. You'll be able to put a lot of anti-squadron damage out there. And if you can keep these guys maybe close to a station where they can heal up a little bit, maybe they'll surprise you. Either way, I think it'll be a fun, a fun 2 squadrons to run that'll be able to put on a lot of damage, hopefully very quick. Now, for objectives, we're going to go ahead and run Surprise Attack. Surprise attack is one that people almost never choose, and so they'll probably go on with something else. But if they do choose it, you're going to end up being closer to your opponents, which means you might get those SPHA-T attacks on much sooner, and so I thought that would be a fun one. Fleet ambush kind of does a little bit of the same thing. Also helps make helps take care of the fact that you have very few squadrons, so your opponent won't be able to drop like 12 squadrons and completely out-deploy you. And you'll potentially be much closer to at least half of your opponent's fleet, which is nasty. For our blue, we'll go with Solar Corona, which also completely takes care of your lack of squadrons, so you'll have complete deployment advantage on Solar Corona. And that's going to be about it for this build. Here, I'll put a link up right there. There we go. You can see the whole list right there. The 2 Venators in the victory, and then of course Anakin and Ahsoka. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section, and don't forget to join our Discord. I'd love to have you guys around. I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Big thanks to all of my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing and help make this channel possible. I will talk to you later. Can't wait to find out what new Armada stuff we're going to have from AMG during the mini extravaganza. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you, and goodbye there.